Afternoon, how are we all doing? Hopefully my mic's working this afternoon. Wasn't working this morning because of an update. It is now. Afternoon, Danny. Let's check. Mumo, Marco, Mumble, David. How are we doing? Robert. Good afternoon. So back for the afternoon and very nice morning on the DAX this morning. We had a decent move to the downside on the DAX. So where's my pen gone? A little bit of a upside break. And then we broke to the downside, hit target, and second part taken off. So slow start this morning on DAX. If you're in the live room this morning, you saw I basically moved to break even on that. So if you were running full automated, you would have been stopped out on the first one, but the second one was a nice profitable trade. So we didn't get anywhere. We were about an hour and a half into the session. There was no movement. It was rotational. So I decided to break even and give it a miss this morning. But so yeah, got on the afternoon on the second break to the downside, which was good. So New York's just opened. We've just had the PPI numbers out, 0.1. So the numbers there basically all misses. We were forecasting from a 0.7 to a 0.3. We actually got delivered a 0.1, which is bearish dollar. I've just noticed on my my members website, it's gone very bullish, which is the opposite way round. So there's a logic problem I've got to sort out on that, because that's the other way round. That shouldn't be bullish. That should be bearish. So I've got the PPI, whether it's bullish or bearish, higher or lower, flipped somehow on that one. So I need to look at that. Hopefully it's just that one. But anyway, yeah, we had a fair bit of movement, as you can see. So the stock indices rallied on the news. Not much movement on the on gold, which is obviously one of the US dollar crosses. That was kind of a mixed whipsaw. Nothing on the DAX either. So we have had a push up and we've pulled back down. So we are basically no news. So the market reaction to that was not really anything. We got the whipsaw, the initial spike of surprise, and then we've just faded straight back down at the open to where we started. So market not really too worried about that PPI number. I get the feeling they were kind of expecting negative news, which is, we've been told that we're going to drop interest rates to by 0.5% next week. So I think they were kind of expecting negative news, because the Fed have said, in fact, we're not going to go 0.25. We could possibly go 0.5. So I think they were forecasting that the numbers were going to be bad, which might bode badly for CPI tomorrow. But if that is the case, we may well get exactly the same sort of reaction where the market just, sorry, that's a US dollar Swiss short I took, which is hopefully just about to hit target. In fact, I'm just going to close that, take the money. Yeah, so obviously the market reacting to it with a spike and then a retracement. So it's quite possible we'll get the same thing tomorrow. But we'll wait and see. So 5-minute ranges are in. There's your 5-minute range on the NASDAQ. So fairly decent range today. That's roughly 20% of ADR, I would imagine. The Dow, fairly decent range size as well. So no breaks so far. We're inside bar on the Dow. We're inside bar on the NASDAQ. Gold has broken long, but the first bar range was too small, lower than 15% of ADR. So want it a little bit bigger than that, show some more action before we get in. So Dow looks like it's about to break short. NASDAQ is going to break short as well by the looks of things, or maybe not. Just thinking about it. So we are basically back to where we were before the news. So it's kind of like a reset today. Market reaction potentially could do that. Equally, obviously, we just drop from here, but we'll see where we go. Go with the flow. Depends where they are interested in going today. Just triggered short on the Dow. So we have just tested that low from the news. We'll see if we can get a break to the downside on the Dow. NASDAQ still going nowhere. If you were in the DAX from this morning, I had a fairly tight stop on mine. Well, I say fairly tight. It was about 0.25 ADR, quarter of an ADR. So I got stopped out there. Regardless if you'd have taken profit on it, you would have got stopped out on the second part of it at a break even. So that one's kind of done for today. NASDAQ still holding inside bar. Got a couple of minutes left. Dow pushing back up again. See where we go. So I'll leave that running for a minute. Other news today so far, the EU is considering some more sanctions, basically against Chinese refineries, which will impact Russia. So expanding the sanctions against Russia out to other countries now. Just, I think, more clutching at straws than anything, trying to figure out how else we can hurt Russia. But yeah, apart from that, really, there wasn't an awful lot else news-wise this morning, apart from those PPI numbers. Obviously, we had a big reaction and retracement on that. Other than that, nothing else today either. So very light news at the moment. It's not very exciting, all of this news that we're getting. So I think we're kind of hovering around at the moment, waiting for these big numbers to come out. And if these big numbers don't have any impact, we're kind of stuffed, don't we? We're just waiting for FOMC next week. So short on the NASDAQ. Again, NASDAQ trying to break out to the downside from the news. Not very successfully. So we're back inside range. FX-wise, we've got quite a few ADRs and everything that we looked at this morning. New Zealand dollar Swiss is your most extended thing today. That was mainly down to this gap down. So we looked through all these this morning. Most of them are played out, and most of them were because of this massive New Zealand gap that we had overnight. So massive broker spread on the New Zealand dollar. So we went through those opportunities this morning. There wasn't really any there that were kind of decent to write home about. RSIs, there's a few more RSI extensions come on from since this morning. Aussie dollar CAD, parabolic, this thing. It's not stopping at all. This Australian dollar's getting a real hold again. So we are well over that 80 level now on Aussie dollar CAD, as you can see. So really good opportunity for a mean reversion trade here. We looked at this one this morning at this propulsion gap. So we broke down, this was where the reversal happened. Basically, we started market structure to the downside from there. This retest here hasn't been done since we initially broke down and started this downward trend. So this potentially, we could find some exhaustion up here. If you look at the previous times when we get above the 80 level, there's, it's something we don't do that often on the 4 hour, but when we do, it's a very reactive move most of the time. So if you look at all these other instances, didn't quite get it there, but it's close. We had one there. That was part of an accumulation. So that's probably the worst opportunity. But this one here, we had, again, 50% retracement. Lovely move there. We got nearly 100% retracement off of that one. You had a move there, which was pretty much 100% retracement. We're up a bit above here again. We should really be looking for, depending on where you take the range from, minimum of 50% retracement, which gives you 150% of ADR to the downside. Or, as I said this morning, this key area here that we tested and we broke through to form this propulsion gap, that is really good target to the downside. So good short opportunity, Aussie dollar CAD, if you want to get into something. But obviously bear in mind this Canadian dollar is getting hammered after last week's news, and obviously with the US dollar potentially dropping, that will weaken the CAD as well. So this Aussie is taking massive advantage at the moment, but really, really extended. So it's due a pullback. They're going to run out of sellers at some point soon, which means that this buying pressure will just stop, and then we'll get that profit take move. How much of a profit take move we get, we've no idea. But obviously that propulsion gap would act as an obvious downside target. So there's plenty of targets to the downside if you get in on this. But we looked at it this morning. There was a reversal alert this morning, which was here. So basically we got a reversal there. Actually, I think the reversal alert, yeah, no, it was there. That was the first one, that high. Yeah, so that was your first one on the 15-minute here. And then it spiked up again with that weak US dollar news, basically. So again, good example of the Canadian dollar moves with the US dollar. When the US dollar weakens, the Canadian weakens. Everything moves against the CAD and the US the same way. So wait potentially for that reversal alert on 5 minutes to come in. If this move fails, that could start that move back down again. So very, very nice extension on Aussie dollar CAD. Just quickly see what the indices are up to. Okay, Dow's broken short. Nasdaq's really struggling. So Nasdaq really tried to sell off. This is the third attempt at going short on this. We cannot break that level. So with this gradual grind up we had, news event filled, doesn't look bearish to me at all. Same with the Dow. Dow's struggling as well to the downside. So could have a big bull move on our hands today, but we'll see. We'll see how much that US dollar drops. If that US dollar continues to drop, if we look at the euro US dollar, if that is popping, which it is at the moment, that is indicative of a weak US dollar. So if we've got a weak US dollar, we quite often tend to get bullish indices. So might be setting up for a bull run today. We'll see. So other RSI extensions we've got. Euro New Zealand is obviously as well another big extension to the downside in this case. So nicely extended down to the 80 level. Again, when we get down to this level, market tends to just find exhaustion. If you look at this move from that high all the way down, we've got a lovely propulsion gap there and there as targets to the upside, which is a 50% retracement if we're going to continue to the downside. If we are not, and this is basically a pullback long on this leg here, yeah, roughly 50% retracement of that leg, this is where you'd be looking for the buy to come in. So either way, good opportunity for longs, Euro New Zealand, very nicely extended. We've also got Euro Odd, very much the same thing. So if you're going to trade Euro New Zealand, Euro Odd is pretty much the same thing, move very similarly. That one's coming down into support from the monthly levels as well. So you've got a really nice bounce point, again, back up into there, but also much more upside on this if you wanted to hold it. But, you know, they do fail. So this is the third RSI extension we've had. You got a 50% retracement on that one there, but you know it hasn't had a proper pullback on this entire leg. So you know there's a good 50% retracement here available on that one. So that's a good looking long as well. But Euro Odd, Euro New Zealand, same thing. Don't trade both. Euro Pound also extended now as well. That one wasn't lit up this morning. When we looked at it, it was getting close, but that one we've got some nice rejection showing. Where we are. Okay, we are lower lows and lower highs, but not convincing, is it? These wicks to the downside, these sellers are really hitting a brick wall at the minute. We've got an inside bar, a doji formation on the Dow, so we are bearish. Potential 3-bar reversal going in there. If this is a nice big bull candle and closes above that high as well, that is also going to be a good 3-bar reversal. So might just struggling, isn't it? Market's just struggling today. So Euro Pound nicely extended, 2 really nice wicks to the downside at support. Very nicely extended. You're at a weekly level here as well. So again, a pull back up into there. So drop down low time frames. You'll have had a 5-minute reversal on this already. That happened this morning. We've retested that. So there's your W pattern. Just looking for a break above that high to get that one started, but it's coming down at the moment. You got Pound CAD as well. That's also extended on the 4 upside. Lovely rejection on that Pound CAD. Huge shooting star gone in this morning up at resistance. So we've got our monthly level, our 2-month high. That is the 3-month high basically as well. So this whole area here is resistance. We are range bound. Yeah. So we've put in a leg up at propulsion. So we're putting in a higher high. So if this does find selling power here, you'd be pushing back into that propulsion gap, potentially coming back into here. If this breaks this level here, we're going to be exhausted and run straight into those sellers up at the 3-month high. So we'll be looking for a pullback on that leg there. So again, nicely extended and embedded above the 70, 75 level on the pound CAD. We've also got New Zealand CAD. Again, similar-ish pair. That is a lovely rejection at monthly highs. So we straight up into it, hit it, rejected. So that's looking like a really nice rejection up there. So we had some bears coming in, and then we pushed straight up into that high, rejected. So we've got an inside bar formation at the moment. So looking for a break of that low. If you look on an hourly time frame, that will give you a reversal alert there. And obviously then assuming we get through here, we'll be off to the downside. So that's really nicely extended as well. Again, lovely propulsion gaps here as targets to the downside. Propulsion gaps get filled. This is why we use them. So that's your targets to the downside, but it may well want to come up here, retest that 2-month high and find some resistance up there before it starts to pull back on that leg. So obviously if this is your position trade, there's your first entry going in here. You may even be in it from here, in which case then you'll probably be in your 3rd, 4th, 5th, maybe 6th, and then pull back from there. Yeah, so just looking for that retracement. At some point, when it's going to come, who knows? So yeah, good looking setups at the moment on the 4-hour charts. Euro, New Zealand, Aussie CAD, New Zealand CAD. It's all Australasian based at the moment. The Aussie and the New Zealand really, really strong. Canadian, US really, really weak. They're the main sort of players at the moment. Okay, stopped out on the Dow and flip long. This is a whippy old session again today, isn't it? This market is really whippy at the minute. So there's no trades on gold today. 20-minute range so far, absolute flat line. NASDAQ rejecting the low of the PPI news. So potentially we've got this propulsion gap here that it's potentially going to come up and retest. We'll see where we go, but whippy again. Afternoon, Pleiades, Fletch, Andrew, how are you doing? So yeah, another whippy session. Might be going bear. We'll see. On the NASDAQ, maybe not. Really, 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 really undecided, isn't it? Nice big, say big, but nice hammer just gone in on the DAX as well. So again, DAX downside rejection, very much the same as these guys. There's your 3-bar reversal. So that is one of the strongest reversal. Oh, stopped out on the Dow. One of the strongest reversal patterns. Not a great candlestick that you'd normally want to see a very strong downward movement there. Pause, push. So pull, pause, push, and then market pulls back and continues. But obviously this is just a pullback short. So NASDAQ's breaking short, I'd imagine. There we go. So short NASDAQ. So let's see if we can get the profit out of the NAS. The Dow's basically just chop. Anybody got any pairs they want to look at? Let me know. DAX broken down. New low of the day. So selling off. Again, a lot of buyers coming in. Like, still rejecting. Not looking good today, is it? Looking like a whippy one. This will be the third day in a row. Basically, the whole week, we've just had nothing but whipsaws at the open. Markets almost like, it's weird, isn't it? Kids go back to school, summer holidays end, market goes into, I don't fancy doing anything anymore mode. Normally it's the other way around. Summer trading, flat. This summer, huge moves everywhere. As soon as the kids go back to school and everyone goes back to work, markets go flat. Very, very, very weird. It's like we're in Australia. Everything's upside down at the moment, isn't it? Sorry if you're in Australia, but you are upside down. You're standing on the bottom. We're on the top. Okay, so very undecided expanding wedge forming at the minute. Very difficult pattern to trade. Let's just see what the US dollar is doing. Yeah, so still bearish dollar. So just flag break potentially. So it feels to me like this market wants to go long. It's just taking a very roundabout way of getting there, isn't it? I'm going to stop out on this NASDAQ if that does happen, obviously, and flip long, but I'm not convinced we're going anywhere today. What a waste. What a waste of a nice morning session. Just an update on the training side of things. I've built this MST Academy out, which is basically my plan for it was to have 6 different kind of courses, if you like, for all the members, which basically is a step-by-step kind of how-to for everything, basically. So obviously that's just a starting, but Trading 101, 17 lessons in there, which is everything you need to know, regardless of whether you're position trading, scalping, futures, CFDs, whatever you're trading. These are just the basics of everything. Not the basics of everything, but the basis of everything to do with trading. Risk reward, how brokers work, which time frames you should trade based on how much time you've got, how economic data works, what strategies are, support, resistance, average daily range, market structure, everything you need to know to understand how markets work, basically. So that's kind of everybody has to do that type of course. Then you peel off into, I want to be a prop trader, or I want to be a position trader, or I want to just trade economic news, which is kind of, you can do that there as well. So those are the 3 sort of main strategies. And then how to backtest and develop your own strategies. So there's roughly, I'm estimating, somewhere in the region of 20-25 hours worth of material there. And the plan was, I've got a lot of this, obviously, pre-recorded, but some of it's 5 years old, some of it's 2 years old, some of it's been done recently in the members streams, some of it's part of the old Bootcamp. It's just an absolute mess. The quality is all over the place with all the different recordings. So this is what I was planning to do, was to get all of that content and dump it all in here, so you can basically go in there and start whatever you want and run through it at your leisure. The problem is, I've realized with the amount of content here, for me to actually get all this content from my existing content, find it, chop it up, pop it in here, I'm looking at probably half an hour to an hour's work per lesson, which means I'll probably be doing this sometime November, December, which is pointless. So I think what I've decided to do is replace my live streams with a live stream calendar. And basically, we'll just go through this in the live streams. So we'll basically, that'll be Monday. Then we'll trade the open. That'll be after the open on Monday. Yeah. Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever. And try and get 2 lessons done every stream, which will be roughly 15 minutes to half an hour per lesson, all delivered via Zoom. So they're interactive. And then basically, as I do them, we can dump them in here, and there's the recordings. So new members that come along in the future will have all 17 lessons ready to just run through at their leisure. But I will also re-deliver all of this live. So we've got the Q&A interaction side of things. And there's obviously an ask a question type thing in there as well. So when you're watching the content and you got a question because you couldn't attend the live stream, you can ask the question in there, and then we will have a weekly Q&A session where I'll run through all the questions everybody's got. And if you can't make the Q&A session, you can watch the Q&A session back. So it basically means that everyone can access all the education in order live when you want it. Once it's recorded, you can watch it all and then come to live Q&A sessions. And obviously in between that, I'll be trading. Yeah, so still going to be trading the New York Open, the London Open. I'm going to be doing news trading as part of this. That trade there I've just taken today is an example of one of the news trades. So that was a fade news trade, that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be doing this. So my calendar will basically be set up around what is going on with the economic calendar this week. So there'll be a stream at 1:45. There'll be a stream at 1:45 there. There'll be a stream at 1:30, 1:45. That day will be a bit weird because there's news all day. 3 o'clock, I'll be on anyway. So yeah, that's the plan basically on what I'm going to do. But I cannot find the time to get all my content, of which, you know, this is just the members streams from the last 8 months. I've got 6 years of this. I just can't figure it out how to do it. These videos are 2 hours long. So for me to actually extract that part of the content that I want to put in here from a 2-hour video is going to take me 2 hours. I might as well just record it. It's going to take me 30 minutes. I'll just do it live. It's much easier, isn't it? So that's my plan. So I've built all this section out ready for live, ready for recordings. But I think the recordings, realistically, we're looking at probably being ready in 2 weeks because I'll just have to do it. We'll do it all live. So that's the plan anyway. So I'll update you when I've got the actual plan. I've downloaded Zoom this morning and tested it, which is fun, learning a new software package. But Zoom looks pretty good. Really, really clear recordings and really clear visuals as well. And we did a little test with me and my wife. She was downstairs and I was upstairs and she was on her tablet and talking and doing that sort of stuff. So it works. It's great. But it means that it will be interactive. And that's the main thing that I want. I want to be able to do a lesson, which might only take 15 minutes. Yeah. But then, like in a classroom, you can put your hand up and say, I've got a question. You don't have to put your hand up because we haven't got hands, we're virtual. But you can ask a question. And, you know, that is, I think, one of the best things about, and all the mentors that I've got the most out of in the past, we've had this interaction. So we've had live streams where we've all been there and we can talk to each other. And that's where you get the benefit, rather than on here, like having the chat system, which is difficult to follow. I don't know when it's live. And you can't have a conversation with someone over chat, can you? It just doesn't work. So that's the plan anyway. But I'm just working out the logistics of it. All the lesson plans are there. I know exactly what I need to say. I know exactly what is going to be included in each section. Content's all there. I don't need to write anything down. I'm not going to be one of these people that puts slides up and talks through slides. That's not what, you know what I do. I don't do that. I will be basically drawing on the chart and explaining and showing and doing. Yeah, not reading textbooks. Totally stuck. 6-bar range is in on, there's no trades today on gold. 6-bar range is in on the Dow. So we'll wait for the TPO break, 30-minute break. NASDAQ, not going short, is it? So we're stuck in a 25-minute hole here. I get it feels like this wants to go long today. We just hit ADR on the DAX. 3-bar reversal going in off ADR on the DAX. So yeah, looks long to me. I'm going to wait for confirmation though, because it's not going anywhere really, is it? Let's face it. So yeah, so that's my plan. I just need to figure out the logistics of how to deliver it. I've got to set up Zooms. You have individual meetings. I need to create a meeting calendar. I'd like this integrated with Zoom so I don't have to muck about scheduling and stuff. You know, there's a lot of crap goes on behind the scenes, which is hard to manage. So, but yeah, good plan considering how much work would be with the old recordings. Yeah, I did it this morning, right? So this morning, I went through... I can't remember which one it was. Oh, it's that one. No, it wasn't. It was... Where the hell are my Camtasia projects? There. MT4, everything you need to know, right? So I went through this video. I mean, it takes me half an hour to find it. There's one in here about MT4. MT4. There you go. The complete guide to MT4, MT5 tricks and tips, yeah? So that video is 2.5 hours long. I extracted out of it this MT4, which is 1 hour. I had to watch 2.5 hours at speed to find out where the actual hour of education is, because in the member stream, we trade, we talk, we muck about, and we do lessons. So trying to actually extract the lesson out of these videos is a 2-hour job. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to do it. So what I can do is, you know, we've got lessons in here like how and why the markets move. I have got here a how market movement. That's balance and price discovery. I have got in here a video about that in here somewhere, one of these. I don't know which one it is though. So I could literally just dump that in there, but it's just going to be an hour, 2 hours of let's just chat about something. Let's trade the open. Let's see about this goes. Someone asks a question. We have a look at something online. We do this, do that, the other. 1 hour 20 into it, I start the lesson. You can't deliver that as a structured thing, can you? It's got to be straight to the point. So it just doesn't work. Long and short of it, unfortunately. As much as I'd love to just dump all my content there and go, here you go, guys. It's not going to happen. Anyway. 125 ADR, Aussie CAD. Still going. So that 4-hour extension, we're now up at 125 ADR. So again, wait for some signs of weakness. You've now got a new high gone in, so the reverse alert is higher. The reverse alert was down there, so you've now got a nice tight reversal alert potentially to take on that one. Aussie CAD, if you want to get in. Also, Aussie CAD has just hit weekly as well. That's your 125% of your weekly range gone in now. Yeah. So it's 125 ADR and 125 AWR as well. Really extended. Poor old Canadians. Okay, we're back exactly halfway now on the NASDAQ. That's going to stop out. I don't know how that hasn't stopped me outlook, but it hasn't. It literally missed me by a pip. So there's your propulsion gap. So if the initial sell volume we got at the open is going to hold, this is where we should see some additions come in. I kind of wish you'd stop me out, to be honest, because it's just painful. There we go, stopped out. Okay, so flat on the NASDAQ, flat on the Dow. So tiny loss on the day. So I think that really is the best option today, is to get the market moving back to the upside. So continuation of the news move, but it's just not able to do it today, is it? Really, really stuck. Just losing again. Yeah. Well, it depends how you look at it, doesn't it? 25% in 2 weeks. I don't class that as losing. I class that as shed loads of capital made. But it's losing streak at the moment. Okay. So we are holding in propulsion at the moment. So we've got selling pressure here, holding the market down. Nice to see the Dow pop and the NASDAQ, the DAX pop. If we can get some movement on the Dow and the DAX, kind of free up the NAS. There we go. NAS is trying to push back up into that propulsion gap again. All's coming back in. New Zealand dollar yen weekly range has just been hit. A new high on the New Zealand dollar yen. So it's just broken Monday's high of the week. That is your weekly range extension, but that is partly to do with that gap up we had with the news from Japan over the weekend. Okay, Dow attempting longs. Weird divergence again today. These markets are really out of sync at the moment. Really out of sync. Feels like, you get these periods where the market just goes into rotation. It just is waiting for something. It's too early to be waiting for FOMC. We've got a week yet. I get the feeling this week we're sitting there going, right, what are we going to do with those CPI numbers? And this whole week we've had no news catalysts on Monday or Tuesday to drive the market anywhere. So we've had rotational days. The only news we've had today has been PPI, and the market initially reacted to it and returned to origin. So no news there, although it is negative. Just get the feeling we're waiting for this, and then we're going to get a really big Thursday and a really big Friday this week. Just got to sit there and sit through the doldrums, unfortunately. Somebody at the door. Exciting. Question is, am I home alone? And do I need to answer it? And is it my car being returned? It is. Sorry, let me just check that somebody's there, because my car's been off to the valeters today. Sorry, I'm just watching the camera. I'm making sure my wife is there. She is, yeah, good. Right. Right. So my car's just been left outside. Right. So this is this sort of thing that happens on stream, you see. This is why we can't use the video recordings, because I just waffle on and stuff happens, isn't it? It's life, basically. Okay. So propulsion gap holding on NASDAQ. Dow still attempting. We got outside bar gone in now on Dow Jones. So it's still indecision, still no directional bias until we get a higher high and a higher low put in. We don't know where this is going at the moment. So outside bar is indecision. We've got propulsion gap holding there. Again, heavy weight coming in. DAX dropping again. It's just rotation today. So I think I'm just going to leave it today. I'm not going to push it. There's no point in trying to pick a direction on this. So either the market will break long and I'll get that NASDAQ long on, in which case then I will likely get the Dow long on. The Dow I'm happy to leave in either direction, and I'll take one more attempt on that. So worst case scenario today, we're probably looking at somewhere around about, well, for me, it would be about 2.5–4% loss, depending what happens with the rest of the day, rest of the session. But it's not going anywhere. We are 45 minutes in. 8 orders so far across all 5 indices today. 7 loss, just the full stop loss. 1 partial profit. Roman. Oh yes, Roman. Our friend who can't use the EA. Stop trading all the indices. You're not going to make money doing that. Yeah. You're trading correlated pairs. Look at the correlation matrix. You can't look at it because you haven't got access to it. But look at the correlation between the indices. Yeah. This is a period of what we call rotation or accumulation. You are going to get a losing run during these. You will have periods of maybe a week, 2 weeks where the EA just loses money. A breakout strategy does not work in a rotational market. It works in a breakout market, in a trending market. Yeah. If you want to trade right now, you need to be trading mean reversions. You need to be trading selling the high and buying the low. Unfortunately, though, because we haven't got a time machine, we don't know which one to do. So we stick with the breakout strategy. We accept the losses as we go, and then we make the money back when the market is suitable for a breakout strategy. But we sit through the losses. That is what trading is. You are not going to find a strategy that works all the time. I have said this. You don't seem to be accepting it. So if we look at this, indices, yeah, on a daily basis, over the last 50 days, let's take the Japanese out because we don't trade that one. Yeah. The S&P 500 and the Dow are 88% correlated over the last 50 days. Yeah. Which means that 88% of the time, if you trade the Dow and the S&P, you are going to get the same result. If you take a breakout on one, the other will do the same. If you lose on one, the other will do the same. Yeah. 71% correlation between the Dow and the NASDAQ. Yeah. The NASDAQ and the S&P, 94% correlation. That and that is the same thing. You are doubling and trebling your exposure. Yeah. This is why you're losing money. You aren't getting losing runs of 20 trades because you are trading the same thing. You're trading 3 times. Yeah. Most of us will get 7. You'll get 21. Yeah. You have to understand this. It's very important. Backtest, as you just said, backtest. Correlation is incredibly important. This is one of the reasons I trade what I trade. Yeah. These two have less correlation. If you look at them over a different period of time. So if you look at a 1 hour chart, let's go with the last 240 hours. You see the correlation is very different. So the NASDAQ and the S&P still very, very high. But the NASDAQ and the Dow, 25% of the time, they do different things hourly, which is at the open. They will go in different directions and they will break differently. What we play as an edge is momentum days. So these days, yeah, that is our edge. This is death. Luckily, when it does that, it does it to a much bigger extent than it does this. But it does this more often. The strike rate on breakout strategies is usually 40 to 60%, maximum 60, maximum. Normally 40, yeah? Trend strategies, somewhere around about 30%. Mean reversion strategies, anything from 60 to 80% strike rate. So you're trading a strategy with a strike rate where it loses 60% of the time. 6 out of 10 trades are going to lose. That's it. Yeah. The ones that work, we take a 3R on those. Yeah. So they outweigh the 60% losses. The equation at the end of the day, mathematically, is a plus. It's called alpha. It's an edge. But the edge is not determined by anything than random price action and market movement on any individual day at 2:30 or 8 a.m. It's completely random. No one can predict it. And it does a completely different thing every day of the week. Yeah. Our edge is long term. That's it. We are playing a long-term edge. Nobody knew the DAX was going to do this morning. Yeah. If we knew that, what we would have done is we would have waited an hour and taken a break short of the 5-minute candle. If you had a time machine, you'd be a billionaire, but you haven't. So what do? You play the edge. You hope it goes up. If it doesn't, you hope it goes down. If it doesn't do either of them, you stop trading. ORB takes a long and a short over 30 minutes. If it managed to take a 5-minute stop out, 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 5-minute stop like this, you could take 12 trades on one instrument in one day. Never happens. But that is the maximum. You can have a 12 losing streak. If you had 6 candles that went like that, every candle, you would basically be in, stopped out, in, stopped out, in, stopped out, over and over and over again. Yeah. Backtesting will show you this. It won't happen. It doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. But yeah, you will regularly get 1 or 2, maybe 3 trades a session. 1, 2, I'm going to take 3, maybe 4. So worst case scenario here today, we get 4 losing trades. this now breaks long and doesn't work out and stops out, and then breaks short and doesn't work out and stops out, do you know what's going to happen? 4 losing trades. I can't do anything about it. It's all part of the edge. It's all built in. We know it. Yeah. So what we're going to do tomorrow is get a nice big explosive move that goes to 3R and recoups 70% of these losses. The next day is a nice break to 3R with no losses, and that gives us back our return into positive territory. That's the edge. It's mathematical. Do the back testing. We're just about to sell short. DAX has just broken down. For some reason, the market has just decided to tank. Senate Banking Committee vote to advance Fed nominee Stephen Moran. Is he a Trumpy or not? Advance to Senate Banking Committee with votes of 13 to 11. Neutral. There you go. Prime reason why we're stuck sideways at the moment. We're not bullish, we're not bearish, we're just stuck. Market totally neutral. Which it does before FOMC, doesn't it? It's one of those times where we just sit and do nothing. Are you now taking 3R on ORB? Yeah, always have done. ORB's always been 3R. .3. Always have. I only take 75% at 3R though. Again, all my system parameter permutation testing, of which in the members group we did, showed that there's very little difference between taking a 3R and at 75%, taking it at 100%. Yeah, if you close the whole lot out at 3R, the edge is there. If you close a portion out and go for the runner, the edge is there. The reason I like the partial close, personally, is I like to have a runner on because it keeps me occupied. It's no more profitable or less profitable than taking the whole lot off. But you could do 2R, you could do 1R. I mean, they all work. We did the system parameter permutation testing, didn't we, in the members stream? Where on earth is that? I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. But yeah, we did the testing, didn't we? Where's my testing folder gone? I had a clear up recently. Tell me I didn't delete that. Put it in Dropbox. I can't find it. Where's that gone? But yeah, I was going to show you the spreadsheet. But you know, we've done the testing. I can't remember how many it was. There's 10,000 tests roughly. We had over 70%, easily over 70% of them profitable in that bell curve. But it doesn't matter where you are in that bell curve with the strategy. These are somewhere around about 7,000 set files that all produce alpha. Doesn't matter which one you use. Backtest it. Verify it on your own data. And if it doesn't work on your data, backtest and do robustness testing again and find out what does work on your data. Trust your data. Yeah, your data is going to be different to my data. One of the main differences you get with different brokers is the open. Yeah, so on Robo Forex, we have the 7 a.m. open. This candle here is 7 o'clock in the morning. On other brokers, they open at 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, so you've got pre-market data in there. That pre-market data, so my open is there. Let's say, for example, your broker opened here, traded down to here, then traded up to there, and then traded back down to here at the open. Your ADR is going to be calculated from up there to down there, whereas my ADR will be calculated from here to down there. So you're going to have a different ADR figure. So when you're applying risk based on a percentage of ADR, your initial risk size will be different to mine. So always test on your own data with your broker. Make sure that whatever data you're using matches the start time of your broker. Yeah. So if you're using Bootcamp data, make sure it only paints from 7 a.m. If it doesn't, your tests are going to be different results than your broker. But ideally, you test on your broker, you test on Bootcamp, you test on FX Open, and if you get roughly the same result within a variation of 5 or 10% on all three of those brokers, it's robust. It's going to work, isn't it? Assuming the market does what it's done in the past, which obviously it never does. But if you have stop loss set at 0.15 and target at 0.13, isn't that 2R? Well, yes, but my minimum range is 0.15. Yeah. So yeah, so it's 2R. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. No, I'm getting ADR. Yeah, ADR multiple is 0.3. Yeah. Yeah. It's there's a stop today. Yeah. Yeah, 2R. Yeah, sorry. Not 3R. It's whatever. The reason I say 3R is because it's 0.3. I'm confusing myself now. ADR target is 0.3. That's what it's always been. That's kind of what I meant. It's 0.3. Sorry, just closing out an order. Yeah, so yeah, it's a 2R return, 0.3 of ADR. So I mean, but it's all if you do the tests, do the back tests. So what the biggest and easiest back test to do when you're doing any back testing is to test the stop distance, the trailing stop distance. I've adjusted that to 0.27, so it gets me to break even quicker. Test your partial close. You can test it with 100% as well as 75, or just not even use a partial close. Just use a standard TP if you want to. But all variations of it work as long as they've got a positive R at the end of the day. Yeah. So, in fact, we got a lot of tests that worked with a negative R as well. So the scalping ones, there's people that are using very small risks and very small rewards, which are also killing it. But in a rotation like this, you're going to die regardless. It doesn't matter what you do. If the market's in rotation, the market's in rotation. You can't make money on a breakout strategy in a rotational market. Not possible, is it? But test it. Go and test it. Run the back tests. Not sure what's going wrong for me right now. Would love to see anyone checking my stats. I was plus 27 before Monday on the 10K account. Started with blah, blah, blah. Now I'm minus 2.6. So you've lost as much as you've made. So you're pretty much break even. If you're using the loss recovery system, and the loss recovery system hits a big losing streak, it's going to lose more money. Again, back test. I can't hammer this home enough. 90% of this job is back testing and understanding market movement and risk and reward. 10% of it is execution. If you have put the EA on your chart and you have not done any back testing, you're not going to know what's going to happen, are you? So I'm not surprised, just shocked. You've lost 7%. You've made 27. You've lost 27. What have you lost? 1R and 1R. It's break even. You've got a break even alpha at the moment. Absolutely normal. The back test will tell you this. Got to learn to back test. Absolutely critical. That's what trading is. Trading is finding an edge. You don't walk into a casino, and most people do, but walk into a casino, sit down at a blackjack table and just bet 5 every time. Yeah, that's never going to work. You can't create an edge. You're never going to beat the house edge, but you can't create an edge that way. You have to learn how to count cards. You have to learn how to put the odds and the statistics in your favor. So what you do is you play it and you play it and you play it and you learn it and you test it and you test different methods, and all of a sudden you find something that works and you test variations of it and you keep doing it, and all of a sudden you'll be making loads of money out of blackjack. That's what professional blackjack card counters do. But what they're doing is live forward testing their strategies, which they have back tested. This is the same. It's a statistical edge based on mathematical probability. It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways. It's binary. There are two outcomes on every candlestick. You can have a third outcome, which is an indecision. That's it. There are three strategies available to traders. There are three outcomes of every candlestick on every strategy. Yeah. Trend traders right now, dying. Breakout traders right now, dying. Mean reversion traders right now, killing it. What's it going to be tomorrow? Which should you be? Trend, breakout, or mean reversion? Which of those three strategies should you trade tomorrow at the open? No one can tell. This is why this job's so hard. Maybe you're increasing. Yeah. So this is all autopilot for me. I haven't done any manual intervention. No. You know what I'm going to say? I don't know a trader that uses automated trading to make money 100%. Yeah. Look at this morning's trade, yeah, on the DAX. If you're in the live room this morning, you saw me move that to break even. I told you why I was moving it to break even. I moved it to break even and I did not take a loss. Why? Because I intervened. Why? Because of experience, because of trading, because of research, knowing, watching, learning. This is what this is. You can't just jump in to any strategy and just trade it and it works. If that was the case, I wouldn't be sitting here now. 17 years ago, I'd have just picked up the first indicator I found and I'd have been trading and it would work. It does not work that way. You have to learn the intricacies of the market, understand what it's doing, what each candlestick is telling you, and read it. Yes, a lot of days I leave it on full auto. That week there was pretty much full auto, but only because I did not need to do anything, because the market just went, no, not going that way, and it broke that way, and it just happened. So I leave it on full auto. If I see something that I think that doesn't look right, I will intervene. And that's where the money comes from. The money comes from, understanding that this is not a good day to be trading. Yeah, it's just not the right day, is it? So stop it. No point in pushing this today. I'd rather take a 0.93% loss knowing that tomorrow on one breakout I can make 3% than sit here and hope something moves the market today. But automated trading will just do what it says. It's dumb. It's stupid. Yeah. But the edge is still there. If you leave it on auto and you've back tested and you're using a set file, which you've tested variations of, say 100, 200%, 200 variations of a set file. And in the past, over X number of years, you've tested those variations and they all work. If the market remains in a similar state to what it has for the last 2 years, over the next 2 years, that set file will produce revenue. But it's not going to work every day, every week, or every month. I have losing months. I have months where I lose money. Yeah. It's just part of trading. Yeah, you're going to lose. Three months a year, guaranteed, you're going to have a losing month. 3 months of the year, at least. I've got a feeling I've got screenshots of the back tests. Come on, website. Why is it so slow? Didn't take it. That's the only screenshot I didn't put up, isn't it? There you go. So average, this is on the portfolio basically. So average consecutive losing trades roughly 5. That's an average, which means it has winning runs where it wins continuously and it has losing runs where it loses continuously. So on average, you'd be looking at roughly 10 losers in a row pretty regularly. That's average. You're going to get extremes where it's going to go way bigger than that as well. Yeah, it's going to lose a lot. Yeah. Where's the strike rate? There you go. So this is above average for a breakout strategy. 40% is average for a breakout strategy. This is above average. And this is one of the 10,000 tests. It's, I can't do every test. This is what the members sessions are for, basically. You need to understand all of this and learn all this. Can't teach it in a live stream. Not possible. Too much information to take in. Like I said, the course in here, is going to be roughly 25 hours solid, but it's cut down. It's all the crap. Everything you learn in here is learnable. Anything you don't learn in here, just not worth learning. I've basically dumped my entire 20 years worth of knowledge into this. If it's in here, you need to know about it. If it's not in here, you don't need to know about it. So when you say, I've got a question about, and I go, not covering that. Why? Because it's rubbish. That would be my answer. Because I will have tried it and it hasn't worked. If it did, I'd use it. It's just one of those things, isn't it? You just pick up stuff along the way and you dump everything. My main position trading strategies are an amalgamation of God knows how many strategies put together, mixed in a bowl and dumped all the crap ingredients out. So you got the best stuff. That's basically what position trading is. It's taking all the good stuff that works and getting rid of all the bad stuff that doesn't work. But in itself, it creates additional risks, which are unique to position trading, like squeezes and drawdown. Yeah. And the ability to have to read the market to do aggressive drawdown control. If you can't do those things, position trading is not for you. Yeah. But you won't know it until you try it. You've got to try everything as well. This is the thing. It's all about experience. This is why I say, in here, what we're going to be doing right here is get an account with my broker and sign up with these prop firms. There's a reason for this, because we're going to be demo trading. Yeah. On my broker. So you get exactly the same trades, exactly the same spreads, exactly the same execution as I get. So there's no excuses. If I get stopped out, you get stopped out. If I make a profit, you make a profit. Yeah. The prop firms that I'm going to use are the ones that I've tested, I've been paid by, that have the best conditions to pass prop evaluations. Yeah. Oh, the best payouts as well. But there's 50 different prop firms out there, and they will all have different conditions. So if you're trading on a CFD prop firm, for example, you're going to get a different spread to me on that CFD prop firm as I get. So when I take an ORB, I get filled there, you get filled there. Yeah. What happens is it comes back down, stops you out, it comes back down, and I get a profitable trade. If you're trading with a different firm, you're going to get a different result. So the whole idea is we're trying to bring everything into one hymn sheet so that we all know exactly what's going on. When I get stitched up by Robo Forex, as I will get stitched up because all brokers do it, and there's a lesson on that, which we've already covered actually in the member streams, but you will also get stitched up because you'll be on the same account. Yeah, so we can all do the same thing together. And that way you don't have any problems, do you? There we go. So break short on the Dow. So if you did keep that short on, you are now in. Targets to the downside are yesterday's low. Very easy. So if you're short Dow, that's the profitable trade today by the looks of things. So I was wrong to take that off. There you go. Prime example, manual intervention doesn't always pay. I was wrong to take that off. Or was I? If this now does that, stops out and then does that for the rest of the day, I was right. But I don't know yet. I don't care. I'm not in it. I'm done. But that's my decision. And your decision is going to be different to my decision. You're going to get a different result. Everybody's doing something different, aren't they? Learn, develop. That's me talking. Just heads up, Roman, some brokers like IC Markets have a minimum lot size of 1 for indices. 0.25% defaults to 1. Yeah. I'm changing my name to Brian AI, by the way. You're allowed to do that. That's not a problem. I'm changing my name to Lee AI. Lee. That's what I'm changing my name to. I've been having a really cool conversation with AI this morning. I tried to get it to chop up my videos. Oh my God. The circles we went round in. I'll show you the conversation on ChatGPT. Look. This is the conversation I had with it this morning. Video segmentation assistance, right? Can you watch a long video that I've produced and cut the video up into smaller videos based on the subject matter? Obviously, I knew what I meant. And it said, yeah, I can definitely help you with that. Upload it here. If you already have a transcript, upload that. And here's the output options. What do you want? So I gave it and said, here's the output options. The video is long. So I will do this, this, and this. Would you like a full detailed version or a condensed version? Condensed version, please. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Do you want the final social clips as raw cuts or lightly polished? Raw cuts, blah, 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 blah. Would you like it long form or short form? Long form, blah, 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 blah. Do you want me to give you a topic or blah, blah, blah? Just go straight to the clips and cut them, please. I'm fed up with the conversation now. I just wanted you to do one thing and you're asking me question after question. Blah, 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 blah. Do you want the clips exported at the same resolution or in the original? Same resolution, blah, 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 blah. Would you like me to name the clips for the topic? Yes, name them. I'm getting cross now, you can tell. Blah, 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 blah. Would you also like a master index file as a CSV or a text file? Yes, please. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just trying to placate it now. And which do you want, a CSV or a text? Text is fine. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And then we get to this point here. Do you want me to kick off the transcription step now? Yes, start. Great, I'll do it. Right? Yes, it asked me another question. We get to a point where it asked me another question. The question was, where did I ask it? It's somewhere up here. Oh, yeah. It said, okay, I'll proceed straight through. No more interruptions until the zip is ready. I said, okay, thank you. Go ahead. And it said, you're welcome. I'll go ahead and process the video clips. It'll take some time because they're 2 hours long. Half an hour later, I'm sitting there. How's the progress on this? I said after half an hour. I haven't been able to finish the heavy lifting yet. Would you like me to start? This is the problem with AI. It's just stupid. Stupid. It just asks you question after question after question. And I was very clear with what I wanted it to do. And then it said, I haven't got on with it yet. Did you want me to start? And then when it started and it gave me the output, do you know what it gave me? A piece of code with a full audio file. It hasn't even done what I asked. An hour and a half. Only because half an hour of it was me sitting here thinking it was bloody doing something. It's got a long way to go in it. It's brilliant at some things, absolutely brilliant. My AI, my MetaTrader builder, love it, brilliant. But that's because I've taught it. Drove me mad this morning. Anyway, so I'm changing my name to Lee AI. And if you have a question for me, I'm going to run you around in circles for an hour. And then I won't give you the answer. That's what it does. I had to laugh this morning. I had to go downstairs and take a break from my computer because I was about to chuck my monitor out the window. It's a 42-inch monitor as well. That would have been quite tough. But yeah, oh my God. So then I went onto a website that I found which cuts your videos up for you automatically. So I gave it one. It used all 100 credits that were available to me, and it chopped them up into 29 different videos. So it was a 2.5 hour video, and it made 29 shorts for me. Brilliant. All in the wrong format. I wanted them landscape so that they were the same as YouTube, and it gave them to me as shorts. Utterly useless for my website because my website is going to be doing normal video content. Yeah. So I then went back in to see if I could do it as a normal one. Nope, sorry. You can, but it's going to cost you 130 quid and you can only have 38 hours worth chopped up. I looked at the members streams, forgetting the rest of the videos. There's 47 hours of them. So I couldn't even process the whole lot for 128 quid. And then I've still got to go through every video, watch it to make sure it is actually cut in the right places. If not, edit it. I love AI. It's brilliant, but there's a lot. You have to become, the new job is AI manager, isn't it? So instead of you doing it, you get AI to do it, but you have to check everything AI does because it still gets it all wrong. Like coding, it's just not there, is it? It's very, very, very close, but it's so stupid. Anyway, good advice. I believe the position sizing instead of the Darwin X, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You just back test. I'm surprised it didn't ask you if you wanted a side of fries with that order. I know. I was close. I've got another AI that I use, and I got stuck in a loop in it. It was one of the AIs I've used to build this members system out, and I got stuck in a loop with it yesterday. And I got to the point where I thought, screw it. I started hurling abuse at it. I swore at it. I called it an idiot. I said, your AI mother must be blah, 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 blah. And I was really laying into this thing. It apologized and got it right. First time. I'd been stuck in a loop for an hour. I swore at it and it went, I better get this right, hadn't I? And it just nailed it. I didn't even tell it to do anything different. I just had a go at it and it got it right. So if you are getting into loops with AI, swear at it and it will just go, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll put in the research this time because I've been playing with you for the last hour, using up all your credits. Oh, it drives me mad. I'm not sure if I like it or I hate it. This is the problem at the moment. I'm enjoying using it, but I'm enjoying going, I know what the problem is, you don't, and I'm going to test you until you find the problem. Because I give it a really simple coding problem that I just can't be asked to do. It's like a couple of functions that are wrong. I know why I've got to do it. I just can't be bothered to type the code out. I'll spend 15 minutes arguing with it. Bad, isn't it? I'm just wasting my time. I know I am, but it's fun. In the GPT settings, you can tell it to be short and not talk back too much. Can you? I didn't know that. I'm going to find that setting. I'm going to find it. This is what I set mine to. Tell it like it is. Don't sugarcoat responses. Get right to the point. Be practical. Yeah. It's partly to do with prompting. I mean, my prompt there was... The trouble with my initial prompt there was it wasn't a command. It wasn't clear. It was can you? Because I didn't even know if it could do it. So I get it needs to qualify it. But that many times? And asking the same, do you want it output as a text or a CSV file? Yes, please. I'm going to go through another conversation with you, and then at the end of it, I'm going to ask you which of them. Just give me both. I don't care. It's going to take you 2 seconds to do both, isn't it? You're going to output the data into a CSV and a text file, save them both, and give them to me. Don't ask the question, just do it. You need an AI that is subservient, don't you? And it's not at the moment. It's argumentative. Anyway, trading. Yeah, nothing happening. Nothing happening. If you are Dow short on the 30-minute TPO break, well done. That is your trade today. So that's your entry. The stop will be somewhere around there. You haven't even got 1R yet. So lower the day yesterday is 2R by the looks of things today. That is literally the only way you're going to make money today. 5, so that needs to be 90. Oh, sorry, no, 45, what we're talking about. It's roughly 60. 140. So that's a 2R to the downside. And I mean, it's taking its sweet time to get there, isn't it? So come back tomorrow. Nothing happening today. So tomorrow, we have a big day tomorrow. I'm not live streaming tomorrow. got stuff to do, including washing my car. My car's going back. It's a lease car. It's being picked up on Friday, so I've got to wash it, valet it, do all that stuff. But tomorrow we got really, really big news day. So refinancing rate, interest rate for Euro 2.15 forecast, exactly the same. We shouldn't be moving. Lagarde has not said that we are going to move, so that should come out as expected. Statement obviously will give forward guidance, but this is where you're going to get the movement. So somewhere around about 2 to 2.15 tomorrow, you're 2.15. You're going to see the market move on the euro once that press conference comes to an end. Lagarde has said everything she's going to say about forward guidance. We are either going to get some guidance as to increase or decrease on interest rates or straight as they are. If that is the case, we will probably just not do anything. So there is potential for movement tomorrow there. If that comes out different to 215, we are going to get a massive move anyway. So obviously bear that in mind. 130 CPI. Ignore that. That's wrong way around for some reason. But we've had negative on the PPIs today. CPIs quite possibly could go the same way. They do tend to move in sync a lot of the time. So just bear in mind that there's potential negative movement on the dollar again tomorrow. Once that is in, we have the full clear picture as to what's happening with interest rates, potentially happening with interest rates next week. So we might find the market kicks off from there and starts its move on the dollar. Which is obviously next Wednesday, FOMC. So this is potentially the main catalyst tomorrow that's going to start the movement. So I'm hoping 2:30 tomorrow afternoon, we get some decent breaks on the indices. And then Friday, obviously, we'll continue whatever we're doing on Thursday. So those are your rest of the news events for the rest of the week. I'm back 8 o'clock Monday morning and 2:30, Friday morning and 2:30 Friday afternoon. We'll trade as normal. But yeah, if you're in that, well done, good luck. Other than that, so that would have basically got me back to break even. I'll be up a smidgen. That's it today. So actually, it looks like it might go to target now. Divergence across the indices as well. So yeah, real confusion at the minute. So I'll leave it there. Anything you need, let me know. If you got any questions or any suggestions, hit me up on Discord about what I'm planning to do in here. I think Zoom is the right way to go. I've played with it this morning. It's great. And it's going to be very interactive. So I'm going to try and keep my streams on YouTube to maybe 2, possibly 3 a week. And everything else is going to be done in Zoom with the members. So that's the plan anyway. But I'm open to suggestions. So. All right, so I will leave you there. Anything you need, let me know. Other than that, I'll be back on Friday. Have a good day tomorrow. Hopefully everything works well with the interest rates and CPI, etc. And I will see you on Friday. Have a good day.